Welcome to Ivor Wynne Center at McMaster University for the CIS Nationals in women's basketball. We have the bronze medal game between the University of Regina and University of Winnipeg. And starting for the Westmen in the backcourt, Heidi Schwartz needs to play better, just 2 points in the semi.
Heidi Schwartz had 20 in game 1 against Memorial, but she was virtually silent last night. She shot 0 for 7. She'll be looking to pick up her game. And in the front court, Wells had a double-double in the quarterfinal, while Thompson matched that mark last night. Bender's playing in her last CIS game tonight, and she'll have to contend with a key full of size in Regina's DeSimone.
Last year's champion, University of Regina Cougars, their backcourt looks like this. Simone Bouchard, the key.
Schweitzer had a big swing, however, from 26 in the quarters to just 6 in last night's semi, and Bouchard came out strong last night, seems to be getting better all the time. In the forward sides, there's definitely some size with DeSimone, and the other two are at 5'11". Burgess is an All-Canadian. She'll play in her last CIS game tonight.
She's in her 9th year at the University of Regina. Christine Stapleton told me before the game tonight that last night in the semifinal, they just played their poorest half of basketball, and it cost them. It was just bad timing. And this is Tanya McKay from the University of Winnipeg.
Tanya McKay faced Christine Stapleton as a player in the 1991 gold medal game in the CIS Nationals.
Your referees, Nadine Crowley from Ottawa, Janice Deacon from Kingston, and Sergio Giordano from Quebec. For tonight's bronze medal game, University of Regina ranked number 3 coming into the tournament. University of Winnipeg Westmen ranked number 5. And in the semifinal, Regina ran into a red-hot Rouge-R team. Laval went on to the gold. That'll be tomorrow night. Of course, Winnipeg lost to the very powerful Simon Fraser University Clan, ranked number 1.
Defensively, let's get up and get after them. Get in their heads right away. Everything's possible.
We mentioned earlier, these two teams have played each other 4 times this year. Regina won the series 3-1. However, one of those games were in overtime. The one loss, like you mentioned earlier, Marie, Phoebe DeSimone was not in that game for the University of Regina. She's in it tonight.
And she will definitely be key. I think that Winnipeg will look to get the ball inside, but they need to get Phoebe DeSimone away from the paint. So they'll try to draw her away and then punch the ball inside. They have not been shooting well to this point in the tournament.
All-Canadian Bree Burgess starts things out for the University of Regina. 19 points led all scorers in the semifinal. Bree Burgess for the Cougars. She has it again and will take the first shot. A little bit long. They battle for the rebound. Regina has it, new 30-second clock. But this is the first turnover of the game. Heidi Schwartz, and she's stripped late.
And there's some
Cougars
early
ball.
nerves for you.
See how quickly the pace is, Marie. Explain the rule differences in women's basketball.
At the CIS level in women's basketball, we play a form of international rules, and the referees generally do not handle the ball in the backcourt, which definitely speeds it up. You'll probably notice some wider key lines as well, which spreads the key out and creates a little bit more space underneath the hoop.
We saw some battles under that hoop last night in the semifinals between both these teams. Very physical in their games. This is Heidi Schwartz slicing through the key. You mentioned the rule changes, and I think that there is a smaller ball they play with, and then the quick changes in the backcourt.
Also on the bonus in a foul situation, on the 8th team foul, we shoot for 2. There is a 30-second shot clock. That's standard, fair.
This is Janet Wells. Her sister Joanne Wells also on the team, the University of Winnipeg. She follows up.
I think we've seen a little bit of early nerves from Winnipeg. Schwartz came out with an early steal, but just bobbled the ball off the front of her knee. I think maybe they just need to settle in a little bit here, need a couple of minutes to calm down.
We're knotted up at 0 so far. Minute and a half into the first half of this bronze medal game. CIS Nationals in women's basketball. Still, not one bucket to speak of at this point. Dana Friesen sets things up for Winnipeg. Long three-point attempt, and she nails it. That's Heidi Schwartz.
And if that gets her going like it did in game 1, Winnipeg will be in good stead.
Simone Bouchard works it to Brie Burgess, and then she kicks it out to Janice Schweitzer. There's Phoebe DeSimone. You talked about her in the opening, and she throws it away. But what a shot by Heidi Schwartz to get Winnipeg on the board. Winnipeg back offensively. Dana Friesen drives. Tanya McKay wanted a foul that wasn't called. This is Janet Wells slashing through the key. She misses, and Brie Burgess has the rebound.
The thing about Heidi Schwartz is she's not afraid to take the shot. And here she's a good 5 feet out of the three-point line and drains one. I think if they get her going, things will look pretty good.
This is Heidi Schwartz. You mentioned she struggled in the semifinal. Just 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists for Heidi Schwartz, and she averages much more than that during the regular season. This is Dana Friesen with a little jumper in the key. That hits the back of the iron. She follows up, gets the hoop and the horn to go to the line.
Penetration, getting some opportunities a little closer to the hoop is definitely in the Winnipeg game plan, and that's exactly what Dana Friesen does. And the smart thing she does is hangs around for a long rebound and catches 2 Regina players caught off guard without boxing out.
Dana Friesen from Oliver, BC, an art student in her 3rd year, hits the free throw. Early 6-0 lead for University of Winnipeg against the defending champions.
You could probably count on one hand the number of times Regina has not scored in a 3-minute period during this whole season.
Brie Burgess for 3. That's off the front of the rim. Rebound, Cougars. Here's Dana Friesen on the steal in the transition game. She kicks it back out to Janet Wells. She takes a look. Heidi Schwartz off the front of the rim. Simone Bouchard. 14 points for Bouchard in the semifinal. From the outside, Crystal Heisler misses, but rebound for the Cougars. And this is Brie Burgess for 3. And she nails it.
And that's exactly where Brie Burgess wants to shoot from. She's got caught inside a little bit during this tournament, playing inside. She wants to spot up. She wants to drain a 3.
19 points mentioned for Brie Burgess in the quarterfinal. She had 14. So Brie Burgess doing her thing for the Regina Cougars. It's a foul against the Cougars.
Just a little bit too much enthusiasm on the rebound.
Laura Schmidt comes into the game for Brie Burgess now. First substitution made by Christine Stapleton. Check that, Winnipeg had that foul. It's Cougar basketball. Winnipeg up 6-3 early in the first half of this bronze medal game. Heisler for the Cougars. She drives. Partially stripped there by Joanne Wells. Kicks it out to Simone Bouchard, who misses the 3-pointer. And here comes Winnipeg. Wells misses the layup. Both teams struggling from the floor so far.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of buckets go through, but I really think that that's a symptom of nerves, especially on the Winnipeg side. If you're going to have success against Regina, you do exactly what Winnipeg's doing right now, and that's play zone.
Janet Wells back for Winnipeg. Up by 3, 15-17 left in the first half. Nice move underneath by her sister, Joanne Wells.
Joanne Wells is a great young player coming up. She's 6 foot, played on the junior national team. She has a lot of promise coming in the future years to come, rather.
Player of the game for Winnipeg in the semifinal loss versus SFU, Joanne Wells.
She came off the bench and did a really great job.
Phoebe DeSimone with a turnaround jumper is good. And that closes the gap to 3 once more. Dana Friesen kicks it down to Janet Wells. She tries to little spin move, and Brie Burgess knocks it away. Check that. That was Laura Schmidt. Bouchard sets things up for the Cougars. Schmidt drives the lane. Her pocket is picked. Heidi Schwartz back the other way for Winnipeg. End to end and misses the layup. Battle for the rebound. Heather Thompson, you talked about her, and she worked hard for that board underneath.
That's a lot of banging around underneath there, Glenn.
Foul against Lee Anderson, the University of Regina. 14-14 left in the first half. They've been few and far between, but we have seen a couple of buckets. This one, a three-pointer from Bree Burgess of the Cougars. We'll be right back.
It's a job with a difference.
You're part of a team.
Getting hands-on experience. Sure, there are easier jobs, but with us, you see the world.
You make a difference.
The Navy. Think about it. Maybe this is the challenge you're looking for. Strong, proud, today's Canadian Forces.
A message from the Government of Canada.
Contentment reigns, thanks to the consistent warmth of natural gas heating. Efficient, reliable, affordable. For heating, hot water, and cooking, you're always comfortable with natural gas.
Welcome back to McMaster University. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock Eastern, we will have the gold medal game between Laval Rouge R and the Simon Fraser clan. Simon Fraser, of course, knocking off Winnipeg. That final was 72-51 in the semi to advance, and Laval beat Regina. 72-56 was the final in that semifinal game.
Glenn, I think it's important to note that Regina went 1 for 14 from the three-point line last night.
Cougars down by 3. Early in the first half of this bronze medal game, they go down low to Phoebe DeSimone, and she can't get the finger roll to go. Back come the Westmen. Sally Kuznicka out to Heidi Schwartz. Nice ball handling skills there from Heidi Schwartz, but she can't get the shot to go. And Laura Schmidt takes over for the Cougars. Unless things change, you don't want to see the shooting percentage from both teams at halftime. They have struggled early here. Phoebe DeSimone, nice little jumper on the baseline. She's got 4 points, and the Cougars are within 1.
DeSimone's been pretty active in that offensive set. I think that's going to help. And as far as Winnipeg goes, I think that they need to distribute the ball a little bit more. Schwartz has taken quite a few shots early on in this game, has hit 1 or 2. We need to get some more people involved in the offense.
Lee Wedlake off the bench for Winnipeg. This is that putback. Cougars come back the opposite direction. Now here comes from the outside Heisler. She's short. Bree Burgess battles for the rebound, kicks it back out. Another offensive rebound for Bree Burgess. Playing in her last game, the University of Regina. Heisler, crossover dribble, and she'll take the shot. Two-pointer is long. Again, another offensive board by Burgess. They struggle for it and hang on to possession. Burgess trying to post up. She does. Little turnaround jumper, and she makes it. 5 for Burgess. One-point Cougar lead. Their first lead of this bronze medal game, and a steal now by Crystal Heisler. I believe the first Cougars turnover. Nice move to the hoop. She's fouled and will go to the line.
Heisler is also playing in her last game. She had tremendous height on that layup. Got caught straddling the Winnipeg defensive player, who I missed who it was.
Sally Kaznika, she draws her first foul for Winnipeg.
Kaznika's a relatively interesting story. She's from England. Tanya McKay was looking for a guard. Got to Kaznika through another player from England who was interested in Winnipeg, and McKay successfully convinced her to come to Winnipeg to play out her career.
Crystal Heisler has 1 of 2 foul shots, but the Cougars have scrapped back and are now up by 2. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, how would you like to turn up the heat and please your partner in delicious new ways?
And girls, how would you like to drive your man to incredible new heights of pleasure?
Now you can.
It's all here in the critically acclaimed video, What Men and Women Really Want.
This tastefully explicit 90-minute video leaves no stone unturned, no zone untouched, especially those of your lover. Men awaken all her senses, her fantasies, her innermost desires.
Women learn the best-kept secrets, how to please him and leave him longing for more. Chosen Best Video by Men's Health magazine, What Men and Women Really Want reveals
how to take each other to erotic new heights undreamed of before.
Due to its mature content, we're unable to show you more.
But after watching this video together, your intimate encounters will never be the same again. We guarantee it.
This is the ultimate lover's video guide for couples and singles of all ages.
What men and women really want is not available in stores. So, for the pleasure that awaits you, call this toll-free number now.
To order, call 1-888-999-1837. Privacy and discretion assured. Or send $29.95 plus $4.95 shipping to Best Video, Box 5800, Thornhill, Ontario, L3T4S5.
Welcome back. 7-point run for University of Regina Cougars, and they're now up by 2 with 11:54 left in the first half of this bronze medal game. CIS Nationals of women's basketball.
Some of that can be attributed to Leah Anderson's work on the board. She's got 5 rebounds already. That's limiting Winnipeg's second and third chances at the bucket.
Great pass by Kaznika down low to Heather Thompson. That ties it up at 10. Heisler. Bree Burgess now. Senior. Left-hand dribble. Tries to get it underneath to Simone Bouchard. That's a turnover for Winnipeg. Both these teams, we talked about playing each other 4 times during the regular season. University of Regina won the first 2 games, one by 22, one by 32. Then they won in overtime in game 3, just by 2 points. And then lost by 26 in the 4th game. So tough to distinguish between these 2 teams. Joanne Wells.
Winnipeg's already cycled in at least 9 players, and they're doing exactly what they wanted to, and that's keep fresh legs in the game and keep running. They've forced Regina already into 9 turnovers.
Simone Bouchard from the outside.
Seeing a little bit of 3/4 court pressure here.
Joanne Wells will help to break that pressure. Now she's trapped, and it's a steal. Crystal Heisler has it. Tanya McKay looking to make some substitutions in a hurry there, with Winnipeg having some problems with that half-court pressure. Simone Bouchard. That's 2 in a row for Bouchard. She has 4. Joanne Wells now trying to break this half-court pressure from the Cougars. She does it. Back on top to Rosalind Back. Winnipeg using a bit of their bench as well.
not expected. Rosalind Fast has not played much for Winnipeg, but as I said before, they want fresh legs in, and she comes in and hits a big one.
1 point lead now for the Westmen. Rosalind Fast, in her second year, maybe just grabbed a little momentum coming off the bench and nailed it.
That's a kid that had a 3-minute shift last night against SFU and comes out and hits the big one right off the bat. She certainly gave the Winnipeg Westmen a lift.
Joanne Wells getting a break. Her sister Janet Wells comes on for it. And Rosalind Fast also, after hitting a key 3, goes down to take a break. Simone Bouchard. The ball is stripped, and back come the Westmen. Dana Friesen. Out to Janet Wells. Pull-up jumper. That's short. Pushing foul on Winnipeg. That's against Heather Thompson, her first. 9 minutes left. Westman now with a 3-point lead on the defending champion Cougar. There will be a new champion this year. Laval will play Simon Fraser in the gold medal game tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Eastern. We'll have that on TSN for you. Janice Schweitzer hits her first 2 of the game.
Schweitzer was really strong in the first game, but she faded last night against Laval. She gets a nice little baseline cut on that one.
Winnipeg having a little trouble with this half-court pressure from the Cougars. Dana Friesen to Janet Wells. She's turned away. Down, unloaded. Dana Friesen. Simone Bouchard thought she got all ball.
That was shaping up to be the block of the century.
Heather Thompson.
Dana Friesen is not a big player. She did well to find herself open underneath, but Burgess, or Simone Bouchard rather, just a little bit bigger than she is.
I thought Simone Bouchard may have had a bit of an argument there. It looked like she did get all ball, but...
Well, she's so athletic and tough. You know, she can get up. She's got some springs.
This is Bouchard. 14 points in the semifinal loss. 20 points in the quarterfinal win for the University of Regina versus Toronto. Bree Burgess now will try a jumper from the top of the key. No good. Dana Friesen with the rebound. Friesen down low to Heather Thompson. She can't handle the pass. The Westmen have a 3-point lead. There's 7:59 left in the first half of the bronze medal match. Stick with us.
It's a job with a difference.
You're part of a team.
Getting hands-on experience. Sure, there are easier jobs, but with us, you see the world.
You make a difference.
The Navy. Think about it. Maybe this is the challenge you're looking for. Strong, proud, today's Canadian Forces.
A message from the Government of Canada.
Hand-picked oranges. 100% pure juice. Pour out our best. Old South frozen concentrated orange juice. A tradition you can trust.
Sexier. Sportier. The reinvented Camry SE, the best-selling car in North America, just got better. Sweet.
Friesen 6 points in the semifinal loss. 7 points already tonight. 3-point Winnipeg lead. Cougars have the basketball. Laura Schmidt will start things out. Christine Stapleton at the break. Putting Laura Schmidt, Simone Bouchard, Bree Burgess, Phoebe DeSimone, and Tara Lee Crisson on the floor. Crisson with the ball. She gets it out to Bree Burgess. And no, Bree Burgess would love to have a big game in this, her last as a Cougar. From long range, that was Schmidt off the mark. And here's Dana Friesen. Spark plug so far for the Westmen. She drives the lane, misses, but the rebound fought there from Heather Thompson and Dana Friesen. The Cougars had the possession arrow, so they'll get the basketball.
Friesen has definitely come to play today.
Running the floor well. She had 8 points in the quarterfinal, 6 points in the semi.
I don't think she's played to her potential over the first 2 games of this tournament. I watched a tape earlier against SFU in a playoff game. She was all over the floor doing exactly what she's doing tonight. She loves to drive. She wants the ball. And that's not common from a point guard position. Most point guards are happy to distribute. She seems to want to actually drive with it.
Bouchard tries to drive into the paint and is turned away by Heather Thompson. And this time, the possession arrow is Winnipeg's favor. They'll get the ball. Good hustle there from Heather Thompson, who's trying to get things going for the Westmen.
Lots of 3-point shots early. Regina hitting 1 out of 6, and Winnipeg's 2 for 4 from the 3-point line. Regina's racking up some turnovers. They've got 11 at this point with 7 minutes to go in the second half.
Dana Friesen
first half, rather.
To Wells. She nails the jumper. 21-16 Winnipeg. Simone Bouchard looking for an answer to that Wells jump shot. Kicks it out to Heisler. Laura Schmidt trying to get it down low to DeSimone, and does. Simone is blocked by Heather Thompson.
Taking the shot might have been a better option on that one. Regina's getting really spread in the offensive end.
Joanne Wells kicks it back to Dana Friesen, who has been the spark plug for Winnipeg. Joanne Wells again with the basketball. They're trying to work it down low. Heather Thompson well guarded there by Phoebe DeSimone. They battle for the rebound. Joanne Wells had her foot on the line. It's Cougar basketball. Christine Stapleton calls a timeout. The Cougars down 21-16 is the score with 5:55 left in the first half. We'll be back with more basketball action. Hey.
Hey.
You okay?
Yeah.
You played a great game. I'm really proud of you. Here. It's fresh.
Dempster's Bakery. Feel the love. Last year, The Amazing Race sent real people in teams of 2 around the world. Critics called it sensational. The difference between coming in first and second was just 10 minutes. Fasten your seatbelt, because the only thing more amazing is the new Amazing Race. New teams, new countries, and new surprises. Are you up for the challenge? Catch the excitement with the all-new Amazing Race tomorrow at 10/9 Central on CTV.
Recently, SportsCenter took part in the Bring Your Kids to Work Day, and with a few exceptions, we think it went pretty well.
Whatever you do, don't touch anything.
Boston 3, Detroit 1.
Welcome back to SportsCenter, everybody. Busy night in the world of what the...
Hello.
You know, that's really not a...
Whatever.
I'm Darren Titian with this update. It's a very...
Kids are always great, and let's just say they're always very impressed with SportsCenter.
Yeah, you.
We'll have the #1 ranked Simon Fraser Clan and the #2 ranked Laval Rouge for the gold medal tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern on TSN. CIS Women's Basketball Championship Final. #1 and #2. Can't ask for much more than that in the final. That for the bronze, baby. This game for the bronze medal between Winnipeg and Regina. And this is Joanne Wells. No foul call. She gets her own rebound. Puts it back in. 23-16. 6 for Wells. Let's go to Norma Wick.
Well, in that last timeout, Christine Stapleton all over her squad. She said, you better get a fire in your bellies right now. On defense, she said, you're playing back on your heels. We need you to get on your toes. You need to get active, and you need to show some passion. And she said, and you better start soon.
Well, that's a good point because it's an 8-0 run right now for Winnipeg. Christine Stapleton reading the riot act. The ladies that are at the break. Heidi Schwartz for the Westmen. Dana Friesen tries to look down low to Joanne Wells. She tries to get it to Janet Wells. And this is Joanne Wells. I'll just call her by their first name. Joanne. Back to Janet. Over to Joanne. Two sisters from Nova Scotia. Joanne in her second year. Janet in her third. Joanne slightly taller at 6 feet. Janet at 5'11". But this is Schwartz. With the jumper, that's short. Good defense there from the Cougars. So they're listening to their head coach, Christine Stapleton. A little more aggressive on the shooters. Tanya McKay making a substitution and giving Dana Friesen a rest. Coming into the game is Sally Kaznicki.
Heather Thompson went off for a break as well. And
Jana Schweitzer end-to-end, but misses the layup, gets her own rebound, tries it off the glass. This is Phoebe DeSimone finally for the Cougars.
On try number 3, Winnipeg's defense has been giving Regina all kinds of trouble.
Heidi DeSimone has 6 points, but it seems to me when she gets the ball down low, she's effective. Why aren't they doing it more?
Well, I think that their offense keeps getting spread, and they're running a little half-court, a little trap on the sides, and that last possession, if she'd hit the layup, it would have given them a good lift, but they're working, and to get 2 and 3 shots, and I think that's breaking them down. They need to get a couple of good scores in the offensive end just to turn the momentum around a little bit.
First score for Regina in the last 4 minutes. As Winnipeg tries to answer that score. Up 23-18 with 4:20 left in the first half. Brooke Bender tries to go down low to Joanne Wells. She's fouled. But the Cougars playing much more aggressively defensively.
They definitely need to. These are two very athletic teams. And Winnipeg is looking to drive. They're looking to use their post play. And they're taking it at Regina, so that Regina really does have to move their feet, get into this game, and I think defensively is where they got to start.
There's 5 team fouls for the Cougars, so they have a couple to give. So that's probably another reason Christine Stapleton wanted to get them a little more aggressive, and Joanne Wells just nails the long jumper. That's 8 for Joanne. Bree Burgess tries to match that one and does, just inside the 3-point line. 7 for Burgess, the senior. Good transition game. Long shot from the outside there from Kaznicki. She gets her own rebound inside to Brooke Bender. That's an easy bucket for Bender. 2, her first 2 of the game. The gap is now 7. Now they're trading buckets. Lee Anderson can't find anyone, and then finds Schweitzer, goes down to Phoebe DeSimone. Brooke Bender providing the defense, and that's an air ball from Simone, and Winnipeg brings it back the other way. Brooke Bender with the jumper from the top of the key short. They battle for it. DeSimone goes down to the floor, and somehow Joanne Wells gets it. Is fouled. Can't make it drop, but she'll go to the line.
That is the 3rd offensive rebound Winnipeg has brought down on the last 3 offensive ends, rather. Here's another look at an offensive rebound that Wells brings down. Nice touch.
after the offensive rebound, like you mentioned.
There was one before that, and now one after.
And then she gets this one, goes to the line. So Joanne Wells now with 10 points.
She's having a big game off the bench.
Excuse me, 8 points. .307 left. It's an 8-point lead for the University of Winnipeg.
Just a little bit of confusion on the timeout. Probably Christine Stapleton could have used that timeout. I think maybe she just needs to get her team a little bit settled down. They got to handle the pressure a little bit better. They got to be composed, get the ball inside. If the shot's not there, Tisimon can pitch it out.
Bouchard, nice move, slashing through the key, but misses the layup.
They will not win with those 8-second offensive sets with a quick shot, and through the season they have been susceptible to that.
Schwartz tried the baseline, a little backdoor pass there to Joanne Wells. Bender with the assist.
Stapleton will take one on her own. Wells has really come off the bench strong. Continue right from last night.
What a pass there from Brooke Bender.
A lot of times, a lot of stuff happens on the weak side of the floor, and she has the presence of mind to capitalize.
That's up the shooters. Got to know why it is. It's on the floor. Okay? Offensively, unless you're running on kind of a numbers transition, you need to go two sides of the floor. Absolutely have to go two sides of the floor. If you're in man, let's run through your visit here for the tournament. Tournament merchandise is on sale on but offensively, you go two sides of the floor. 13 back to 3, down on a miss. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
What you talking about, Marie?
I think she wants to see in the offensive end, she says two sides of the floor. She wants them to swing the ball, reverse the ball, break the defense down, and get a better shot. Defensively, they're preparing for some full court pressure. She's got the press break set up.
Winnipeg on an 8-0 run, and their biggest lead of the game, it's now 11. And force another turnover. Joanne Wells again, who has been all over this court.
They broke the pressure. The smart thing would have been to bring it out, set up an offense, and run through it.
Brooke Bender drives the lane, makes it go, and is fouled.
Unbelievable. Her last game in the CIS. You don't see an awful lot of offensive action from Brooke Bender like that, but she just kept going. It knew she had the lane and went up strong. Simone Bouchard, I think, has gotten caught behind a couple of those plays. She got picked up a foul early and doesn't want to get in there.
Well, that's 2 now for Simone Bouchard.
You can't get caught on the backside of somebody driving to the hoop, that's for sure.
14 now the lead for the University of Winnipeg, who have a young team and a very, very bright future. You think about how well they played against a very powerful Simon Fraser team. And now up by 14.
This game is big for Winnipeg, Glenn. I think that Tanya McKay wants to set a precedent here at the Nationals that they can play with Regina and they can beat Regina, and that's going to set them up for the next couple of years. It is a big rivalry. Regina has been the better team over the last couple of years, and they want to change that.
Bree Burgess wants to change the momentum in this game for the Cougars and just blocked Heather Thompson. But her shot on the other end of the court is well long, and Wells has the rebound. Kaznika sets things up for Winnipeg as they slow things down with a 14-point lead. 1:26 left in the first half. Why not go to Wells? She slices through the key. What a move. Strong to the hoop from Joanne Wells. 14 so far. Joanne Wells is on fire for Winnipeg.
unsuspecting, isn't it? Sometimes you don't key in on the people that are really going to come to play. You start keying on the All-Canadians, others who've played well in the tournament, and sometimes a young kid comes out and ignorance is bliss.
She had 9 points in the quarterfinal, but 14 in the semi, and 12 starts during the season. Came off the bench in this one and has really spark-plugged this Winnipeg run. They're now on a 13-0 run and have a 16-point lead, thanks in part to Joanne Wells, in a big part. The Cougars trying to stop the bleeding. Phoebe DeSimone way outside where she's not accustomed to being. Bree Burgess. Foul underneath on DeSimone.
Heather Thompson is walking back from that play and limping a little bit. She's got bad shin splints. I think she's hurting. She's just trying to hang on for the last game. And she's everywhere, showing her athleticism. She had both turnovers last time with hands in the lane, and now she just draws a foul on Phoebe.
Talked about it in the opening. Heather Thompson with double-doubles in both games so far in this tournament. This is the outside to Schwartz. That's off the front of the rim. Phoebe DeSimone with the rebound, trying to look to set up the break, but Heisler slowed things down. Heisler, also a senior playing in her last game. Janice Schweitzer, Phoebe DeSimone with the jumper. Looked good, but it was in and out. Brooke Bender had the rebound. It was tipped out of bounds by Burgess. And we'll be back to Bender.
I think Regina is definitely getting outworked underneath.
Joanne Wells, the star so far. She stops the dribble and is trapped and in trouble. Gets it off to Heather Thompson. Now Kesnika has it. Goes back door. Great move, but blocked and foul from Phoebe DeSimone. That's her second.
That broke down with the little trap over here close to the score table. They recognize a skip pass to the wing right there, and then underneath.
Clearly a foul there from Phoebe DeSimone, who now has 2 with 3.9. She picks up her second in the dying seconds of the first half.
That was a hard foul.
Heidi Schwartz bounced back, makes 1 of 2. But the Westmen have a 7-point lead with 2 seconds left in the first half. Obviously, Tanya McKay very happy with the way number 5 ranked University of Winnipeg Westmen have come into this one against the defending champions. Bronze medal game. A 14-0 run right now for Winnipeg. They have a 17-point lead to score 37-20 after 1 half of basketball. You look a little surprised to me, Marie.
I'm actually not surprised, but what I am surprised is the number of turnovers Regina has racked up in this half. I think with facing the athleticism of the Regina team, generally it's a little more difficult to play man-to-man against them, and Winnipeg has mixed it up. But they've been in the lanes. They've been creating all kinds of turnovers, and Regina's going to have to fix that.
Winnipeg has a 17-point lead, and right now Norma Wick is with Tanya McKay, their head coach.
Well, you said your club was fired up before this game, but could you imagine a 17-point lead at the half?
Well, the kids are playing well right now. Defensively right now, we're doing what we need to do. We're keeping them off the boards. I think we're forcing them to take some tough shots, and I'm impressed right now. Our kids are fired up and playing well.
Forcing them into a lot of turnovers, too. 15 in the first half.
I don't think they were ready for our match. The kids were really fired up with our defense. We knew if we put a little pressure on them and went with some cutters, wouldn't give them some easy looks, and the kids are taking all those easy looks away.
How about Joanne Wells? 14 points last night and another 14 in the first half off the bench.
She's an offensive machine. She knows how to score. She knows how to read her defense, and she's doing a great job right now.
Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
It's a 17-point lead for the University of Winnipeg over the defending champion Regina Cougars. We'll be back with more in a moment.
The Olympics, Salt Lake City, 2002. Gold medal, Canada.
You have just experienced Team Canada's greatest victory. And now you can own a piece of hockey history on video or DVD with Gold Rush 2002. For almost 2 incredible hours, you'll go up close with Team Canada, starting with last year's camp, through to Salt Lake City, and the gold medal podium. Gold Rush gives the hockey fan all the awesome game-by-game highlights, plus the dressing room drama you won't see anywhere else. Gold Rush 2002 is the greatest hockey story ever told, and now you can bring it home in VHS or DVD. It's in limited release, so go for the gold right now. Call the number on your screen or log on to hockeyonvideo.com. Mail order, send a check or money order for the price shown, plus applicable taxes and $5.99 for shipping and handling to Gold Rush 2002, 481 University Avenue, Suite 705, Toronto, Ontario, M5G2E9.
She can be a feisty one.
They can drop their husbands off, but they're not allowed to get out of the car. And my coffee.
She gets the inside scoop.
Well, my dad calls me Toots Lizard. Boom, boom. Limpy, limp, slimpster.
And she always brings out the best in her guests.
What if you wanted to be a sportscaster and they said the only way we'll let you be a sportscaster is if you strip naked and do it in a Speedo?
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, I guess.
WTSN connects with Norma Wick Wednesday nights.
We're at the half in the bronze medal game at McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario, and the 5th seed Winnipeg Westmen have shot the Regina Cougars, leading them by 17 at the half, forcing them into 15 turnovers. A very hard-fought contest, and these two teams were hard at work last night in the 2 semis, and they were up against SFU and Laval, and fittingly, the number 1 and number 2 seeds, respectively, moved on to the gold medal game. Here's a look at how they got there. The Cougars got off to a hot start, led by 5th-year senior Bree Burgess as she hits the jumper in the low post. Then it's Burgess hooking up with Simone Bouchard. Regina up by 11 on Laval. But then Isabelle Grenier took over. Here she is with the shot of the game to cut the lead to 38-33 at the half. Second half, Grenier picks up where she left off as she drains a three-pointer to tie it up. Then she drives, stops and pops to give Laval the lead at 46-44. Grenier doing it all last night. Nice feed inside to José Lalonde for 2 of her 15 points. The Rouge AR outscore Regina 39-18 in the second half to knock off the defending champs. 72-56 the final for the number 2 seed. 13 points in the second half for Grenier, who, as coach Linda Marquis said, had that look in her eye. Bree Burgess had 9 boards to go along with her. 19 points for the Cougars. Semifinal number 2, Winnipeg wanted a quick start, and they got it as Heather Thompson scored the game's first 4 points. But then national team member Teresa Kleindienst took control, first with a nice drive through the lane. Then she would hit from downtown for one of her 3 three-pointers on the day. And when she missed, the player of the year, Jessica Kozauka, was waiting under the hoop to finish the job. Simon Fraser showed exceptional teamwork as they moved the ball around the floor, and they took complete control in the second half. But it would be Kleindienst who stole the show with 17 points as she leads SFU to a berth in the national championship game. The Clan runs their perfect record to 34-0 with a 19-point win over the Westmen. They were 6 for 8 from behind the arc in the first half. 3 of those coming, as we mentioned, from Teresa Kleindienst, who had 17 in the game. Joanne Wells with 14 in a losing cause for Winnipeg. With more on tomorrow's gold medal matchup, here's Glenn and Marie.
Thanks, Norma. Number 1 and number 2 in the gold medal game. We can't ask for a better matchup. For SFU, Teresa Kleindienst got things going for the Clan, and I think for Laval, it was in the second half, Isabelle Grenier who really came on strong.
I think we're going to see a lot of shooting tomorrow, and it's going to come from a long way out past the three-point line, from Grenier on the Laval side and Kleindienst for SFU. I think they're very evenly matched teams, but one thing SFU has in its favor is 4 fifth-year players and 1 fourth-year player. It's hard to match that kind of experience.
A whole bunch of experience for Simon Fraser. They also have the most valuable player in CIS women's basketball. That is Jessica Kazauka. So Jessica Kazauka and Kleindienst make for a good 1-2 combination. And Marie, this is how they match up. 34-0 overall record, 28-4. Pretty good matchup when you look at it.
I think on paper it does look very good. I think it's going to come down to that experience. It's also going to come down to who has more heart tomorrow. It's very difficult to play in an undefeated situation. Laval has nothing to lose. I talked to Isabelle Grenier a little bit earlier today. She was very relaxed. She said, hey, we have no pressure on us. So it is going to be an even matchup. It'll be a high-scoring game. It'll come down to heart. And I think it'll be a real nail-biter.
Laval and Simon Fraser for the gold medal, the bronze baby in women's basketball, and we'll have highlights of the bronze medal game when we come back.
Serenity is on its way at last, thanks to the instant hot water you get with natural gas. Reliable, efficient, easy on your budget. For hot water, heating, and cooking, you're always comfortable with natural gas.
It was our first house, and shortly before my parents' grand inspection, there was a tiny problem. I told my State Farm agent I had to get it fixed fast.
When you choose State Farm's Premier Service Claims Program, there's no calling around for estimates. You just go straight to a participating contractor and they'll guarantee their work.
So this is it?
It's just that simple.
Boy, they don't build them like this anymore. No, they don't.
Premier Service, just one more way. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The greatest female soccer players in the world have found a new home. WTSN is the exclusive Canadian broadcaster of WUSA, the premier women's professional soccer league. Beginning in April, WTSN will broadcast live 25 of the best matches from the 2002 season, including the semifinal and championship game. There's only one place to catch soccer this good, WTSN.
Learning can happen anywhere. Set aside 15 minutes a day to read with your children.
Welcome back to McMaster. The Winnipeg Westmen with a 17-point lead after a half of basketball. They're enjoying currently a 14-0 run at the end of that half. It took a while to get started for both teams, but Winnipeg really came on, Marie.
Well, Bree Burgess definitely likes to spot up from the three-point line, and she nailed one there. She tried to get her team going, but I just don't think it was enough because it was all Winnipeg on the offensive end with Heather Thompson going hard to the hoop and a lob, and then it was the young Joanne Wells coming off the bench. She looks to score every time, and she was really hard on the offensive boards. Thank you very much. I'll take that. Nice tag. Shot.
Joanne Wells, 14 points in the quarterfinal game. She has 14 in a half of basketball off the bench for the Winnipeg Westmen. They have a 17-point lead. Are you surprised with the Cougars? They average over 70 points in the regular season, just 20 points in the first half.
I don't think Regina has scored 20 points in a half all season. It's quite surprising, and I think the real story here is the turnovers. 17 and a half is probably unprecedented for Regina as well. They're going to have to take care of the ball, work the offense, and get a good look.
Well, that turnover battle, unbelievable. 17 turnovers for the Cougars. They trail by 17, and we'll have second half action in a moment.
It's a job with a difference.
You're part of a team.
Sure, there are easier jobs, but with us, you see the world.
You make a difference.
The Navy. Think about it. Maybe this is the challenge you're looking for. Strong, proud, today's Canadian Forces.
A message from the Government of Canada. For some, it will be a chance for redemption. For others, a time to move on. They will put it all on the line. They will fly higher and move with more precision. This is where champions are made. The 2002 World Figure Skating Championships, March 18th on WTSN.
Welcome back to McMaster for our live coverage of CIS women's basketball, the finals. We've got the bronze medal game tonight. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, we will have the gold medal match for the bronze baby between Simon Fraser in their second year in the CIS and the University of Laval. And right now, with Christine Stapleton, is Norma Wick.
Well, Coach, not the half you would have envisioned for your team.
No, that's a very equally disappointing as the way we ended our Laval game. It's the way we kind of came out. I think we've played 2 minutes of good basketball, and it's very disappointing.
They got themselves there. They can get themselves out of it. How do they? What did you tell them at the half?
Well, we just have to do little things. We have to send 3 to the offensive glass. We have to go 2 sides of the floor and then look to middle penetrate and look inside. And when we go inside, we have to go to the baseline and quit turning to the middle of the floor where all the help is waiting for us. I think defensively, we have to box people out. Number 7, number 13 have got 7 offensive rebounds each. So there's just some little things that we have to do a better job of. But I just hope we compete here in the second half.
We've got to have to get back into it. Good luck.
Thanks.
High scorers for Winnipeg. We talked about Joanne Wells, 14 in the half. Dana Friesen played well. She had 7. For Saskatchewan.
Burgess came out strong with 7 and DeSimone with 6. The last 2 buckets Regina has had came from DeSimone, so it'll be interesting to see as they come out now whether they'll go back to inside, whether they'll be able to handle the Winnipeg defense.
Christine Stapleton talked about offensive rebounds and sending 3 to the glass. Right now Winnipeg has the edge in the offensive boards, 12-7. But it seems like more than that.
Well, on the offensive end, in terms of boards, some of that statistic is purely a symptom of the number of shots Winnipeg took. They took 25 shots in the half. They were 9 for 25, 36%. And it's pretty tough to win a ball game with 20 points after 20 minutes of play.
Well, for the Cougars to make their average, which was 71.8 in the regular season, they're going to need over 50 points in this second half. Just 20 to show for the first half of basketball, and you could see the disappointment in Christine Stapleton's face in that interview. They'll start out offensively here. Phoebe DeSimone was open on the back door, but Schweitzer couldn't see her. Bree Burgess now. Drives baseline, pulls up with the jumper. DeSimone battles for the boards and gets it. She can't make it go, though. They can't finish underneath. Back comes Schwartz. Dana Friesen, that great first half. Bender, like that Cougar defense. There momentarily, and then Bender drove the lane and easy layup. 7 for Bender.
They just are behind a half a step on the defensive end, and Winnipeg is capitalizing it on it.
How difficult, though, Marie, for the Cougars, last year's champions, you got to think that the loss in the semifinal hit them harder than it did Winnipeg.
I would agree with that. I do agree with that. Christine Stapleton says it takes 5 seconds for an athlete to forget a loss like that, but I'm not sure that that's the case. I think it would be awfully disappointing. They're obviously the higher seed. They probably had more confidence coming into the tournament. Winnipeg's on its way up. Regina has held the top spot for a while, and Winnipeg is on its way up. They are hungry, they're young, and I think that makes a big difference in a bronze medal game like this.
Well, certainly not taking anything away from Winnipeg, but I just, when you're defending champions and you're the #3 seed, and you really, they not only got beat, but they got blown out in that second half versus Laval. 72-56 was the final. They were well below their average in that game in the semifinal. So the disappointment continues right now for the Cougars. They can't seem to break out of it.
They can't find their offense.
And Winnipeg are just having fun.
Yeah. Regina just cannot find their offense, what they're accustomed to. They're usually a very athletic team. They'll drive, and if they don't have to drive, they'll spot up and shoot. They don't have that right now.
Heather Thompson and Phoebe DeSimone battle there, and are they having fun or what?
Brooke Bender is not a high scorer. You know, big smile on her face. As hard as DeSimone's working underneath, it just isn't happening for her tonight.
Well, Schweitzer, see if she can find an answer for the Cougars. DeSimone way outside. Back out to Schweitzer. She'll try and hit the three. Blocked by Heather Thompson. Schweitzer gets it back. Drives the lane, tries to get it down in low to Lee Anderson. She didn't see it coming. 14 left on the shot clock, and the Cougars will keep the ball. Try and set up a set play to Simone. She takes the jumper. Good. 6 Dana Friesen now to Janet Wells. She drives the lane. Simone Bouchard was not letting her get an easy layup there.
No, not at all. And you notice on that play right there, Regina put a little bit of pressure on, but they got caught off guard. Winnipeg had no trouble beating the pressure, and the risk of that is on the far side of the wing. There was almost an easy shot there.
They called a jump ball. Possession arrow was for Winnipeg. The Westmen have the ball and set up offensively with the new 30-second clock. Schwartz gets it picked, and then she touches it as it goes out of bounds, so it's Cougar basketball. Schweitzer. Janice Schweitzer. Reed Burgess will drive in hard. Heather Thompson draws the foul. Or excuse me, commits the foul. Her second. Heather Thompson still battling on the defensive end of the court, but struggling offensively. You mentioned she may be hurt. Bree Burgess for three. Off the iron it out. Heather Thompson battling with Phoebe DeSimone, and
Regina's getting a few chances here. This is going to be the third chance at a bucket in the offensive end. They got to stop last time on defense. This is a very crucial offensive set for them.
41-23, 17:36 remaining. Winner takes the bronze medal. Bree Burgess. Bouchard. Phoebe DeSimone turns around, spots up, but is short. Rebound, Cougars. Schweitzer will try it. DeSimone fighting for position, but loses the battle. Westman ball. And that is just a flat-out turnover from Dana Friesen. Oh, charge!
Dana Friesen, that is a big charge to take.
Simone
planted and
Simone Bouchard, sorry Marie, was coming in hard and picks up her third.
she had to go hard to the hoop. Splayed out. That was good hustle on the part of Dana Friesen. You got to have both feet planted and a established position before that offensive player makes contact.
There's Dana Friesen. She traveled. Back come the Cougars, down 41-23. Bouchard, maybe a little frustrated, went hard last one. This is 3 from Bree Burgess, and she is off.
They're struggling from three-point range. I think they're about 1 for 8 from the three-point line. And of course, last night, they went 1 for 14.
Look at Schwartz. She's hammered going to the hoop, but no call.
That's typical Heather Schwartz. Heidi Schwartz, rather. She will take it to the hole every time she wants to shoot. Tanya McKay telling her just relax, pull it up a little bit. Sometimes put a little bit too much mustard on the hot dog.
Team's leading scorer in the quarterfinal, Heidi Schwartz. 41-23 remains to score. Bree Burgess. That little jumper from inside the paint. 9 for Burgess.
Burgess is really working hard to try to get her team back into this.
Well, she's a senior, and she doesn't want to end on a bad note, no question.
No, regardless of results, you want to know that you played your heart out and left it on the court, that's for sure.
Phoebe DeSimone does a nice job of blocking out Brooke Bender and comes up with that board. Heisler, also a senior for the Cougars. To Bouchard. Bouchard misses. They're getting not scared to shoot. There's no question about that. From long range, 41-25. Burgess. Just has to give it off to Phoebe DeSimone. Down low to Bouchard. Tries a left hand. It's a little too long, but she gets her own rebound. All the way across to Heisler, to Bree Burgess. She will pump fake, and then she'll take it way short. Phoebe can't get to it. Well, they're battling, but they're not getting much closer. The score 41-25 in Winnipeg's favor. We'll be back.
Endless summer awaits thanks to the spa and pool heating, cooking, and lighting of natural gas. Efficient, reliable, economical. We're making the most of the great outdoors. You're always comfortable with natural gas.
Last year, The Amazing Race sent real people in teams of 2 around the world. Critics called it sensational. The difference between coming in first and second was just 10 minutes. Fasten your seatbelts, because the only thing more amazing is the new Amazing Race. New teams, new countries, and new surprises. Are you up for the challenge? Catch the excitement with the all-new Amazing Race tomorrow at 10/9 Central on CTV.
Fourth-year center Phoebe DeSimone, 6 points and 6 rebounds so far in this one.
Phoebe's been working really hard underneath. She's starting to pull it around now. Towards the end of that first half, she had the only 4 points. Regina had scored in 8 minutes.
We talked about her in the opening and how important she would be. Of course, she was out of the only loss in the regular season. The Cougars when they faced Winnipeg Westman. They're facing a huge deficit here. Joanne Wells, the hot shooter in the first half, back in the game, but this is Friesen driving the lane. Look at the hustle from Winnipeg. Joanne Wells crashed the boards. Dana Friesen came up with the boards. Let's go to Norma Wick.
Yeah, look for some more pressure from Regina on defense. They want to pressure the ball and they'll go man-to-man after some zone pressure on throw-ins. Also, offensively, look for them to push the ball up the floor. Christine Stapleton wants these guys to push the ball and then work from the inside out. She's looking for threes from the outside. They want to get back into this.
Oh, we noticed that pressure, Glenn, just on the last Winnipeg score, and it features Phoebe right at the front. And that's what the inbounder is faced with. 6'3" of arms and legs.
Yeah.
That can create a lot of trouble on the top of a press when you have a big, big kid like that.
Bree Burgess was fouled by Lee Wedley. She goes to the line. Burgess has been battling. No question about that, but we heard Norma talk about Christine Stapleton wanting them to run the court, change the tempo of this game, try and scratch their way back into it.
You know, another thing about Regina is last night, their big three played 35 and 36 minutes, and I'm sure they're dealing with a little bit of fatigue. In the first half, DeSimone played 18 of the 20 minutes. They had 16 and 14. They went 8 deep, whereas on the Winnipeg side, they went a full 11 deep.
Again, both games in the semifinals, very physical games, so those minutes add up in a hurry when you're getting banged around, as both teams did in both finals. Winnipeg now just playing relaxed, having fun. Joanne Wells cuts through the lane, gets the foul and the basket. And her success continues.
We saw a lot of this in the first half, most definitely. Beautiful pass. Unfortunately, Burgess got ball cut there. You got to finish those shots when you get fouled.
Burgess picks up the foul.
Turn it into a three-point play.
17 points for Joanne Wells. And there is 14:30 left in this, the bronze medal game. Bree Burgess now. She is triple teamed. Has to kick it back out to Heiser. Now Bouchard with it. Bouchard with a crossover and a little jumper off the glass. No good.
Well, in the second half of last night's semifinal, Regina really struggled with their shooting percentage, and it seems to have just carried over to today, but you got to keep shooting in the hopes that eventually it'll drop.
Yeah, and remember in that semifinal, the Cougars had a lead at halftime before losing to Laval, and they just can't buy a bucket right now.
No, and Simone Bouchard cannot work any harder underneath there.
Heiser will try. No. She gets it back over to Bouchard. Dana Friesen quickly over to provide the defense. Bouchard takes this long shot, and that is short. Dana Friesen hustles for the basketball, picks it up for Winnipeg. How many opportunities did the Cougars have there? They didn't capitalize on one of them. This is Kesnika over to Friesen. Joanne Wells. She has got the touch right now.
Oh,
Phoebe DeSimone.
That was swatted right out of the air, out of nowhere.
Maybe that's some defense that they can build on.
You gotta like that. Here's something that'll get your team going anytime. SWAT.
Lee Wedley didn't see that coming.
No, put an exclamation point on that one.
That shot is off.
Regina is really starting to work hard. They know they got to get on every loose ball. They know they've got to stay on the boards.
And their leader, Bree Burgess, leading the way for them with the hustle.
Here's something to put in the game into perspective, Glenn. Regina has had 5 field goals in the last 15 minutes.
Wow. And right now, that basket probably looks like the size of the head of a needle to them. Bree Burgess battling hard. I talked to Christine Stapleton before this game, and she said in the second half versus Laval, the basket was shrinking on them. And he said for Laval, it started to grow. And right now, they've got to be feeling the same way.
Yeah, it happens. You know, teams go cold, and I think, too, when you have to work really hard on the defensive end, it's tiring, and it can affect your offensive game. And they've had to do that against Winnipeg today.
Phoebe DeSimone from outside.
I've seen her take a couple of those shots. It may look a little far out for a 6'3" player, but she's not unaccustomed to taking a shot from the elbow. She can hit those.
Providing the defense there was Heiser in her 5th year. Janet Wells from outside. She misses. Here's Bree Burgess in her 5th year. And if you're going to get a spark, you're going to get it from someone playing in their last game.
And on the Winnipeg side, of course, Brooke Bender is playing in her last game. I've been very impressed with her tonight. She's charged with keeping things under control in the paint. She's done her job very well. She's added some offense today, too.
No question, Brooke Bender has played very well. And been playing football for Don Matthews, a head coach of mine, Marie, and he told me that at the end of a game, you want to be like a painter and be proud enough to sign your work at the end of the game. And I think Brooke Bender can do that at the end of this one. Crystal Heisler, another senior. She wants to be able to sign her painting, even if it is a loss, to be able to personally say you did all you could. Janet Wells rips down that board. Tasnika with the crossover. Joanne Wells. What she touches turns. Oh, I can't believe she missed. That's unlike her in this game. Dana Friesen. Another Cougar turnover.
Right there, had a little bit of help getting rid of that one. I think Dana Friesen kind of gave her a little kick.
Wells working on Schmidt. Puts up a shot. Schmidt comes down with a rebound. Lee Anderson looking for the board. Did not see the pass from Laura Schmidt. Right now, the turnover ratio, Regina has 19 turnovers, Winnipeg 9. That's why the Westmen have a 44-27 lead. We'll be back with more.
Joe's favorite recipe is perfection. Thanks to the fine-tuned cooking of natural gas. Efficient, reliable, affordable. For cooking, heating, and hot water, you're always comfortable with natural gas.
Recently, SportsCenter took part in the Bring Your Kids to Work Day, and with a few exceptions, we think it went pretty well.
Whatever you do, don't touch anything.
Boston 3, Detroit 1.
Welcome back to SportsCenter, everybody. Busy night in the world of what the...
You know, that's really not a...
I'm there in addition with this update. It's a very...
Kids are always great, and let's just say they're always very impressed with SportsCenter.
Yeah, you.
She can be a feisty one.
They can drop their husbands off, but they're not allowed to get out of the car. And my coffee.
She gets the inside scoop.
Well, my dad calls me Toots Lizard. Boom, boom, limpy, limp, slimpster.
And she always brings out the best in her guests.
What if you wanted to be a sportscaster and they said the only way we'll let you be a sportscaster is if you strip naked and do it in a Speedo?
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, I guess.
WTSN connects with Norma Wick Wednesday nights.
We have more women's basketball for you tomorrow. In fact, it's the big game. Laval Rouge-et-Or. They were ranked number 2 coming in. SFU Clan ranked number 1. We'll have that final for you at 6 o'clock Eastern. Crystal Heisler battling back in this one in her senior year. From Regina, Bree Burgess are doing everything in their power to bring their team back. But do they have time? And it's probably safe to say that they'll see most of the remaining 11:03 in this game.
Well, they're going to have to make a drastic improvement. We've been talking about this the whole game. They're 1 for 12 from three-point land.
Nothing but net for Schweitzer. And that'll help. 14 is now the deficit. Norma, what's going on?
Well, in the Winnipeg huddle, Tanya McKay telling her guys to slow it down on offense. Let's execute. She said, better shot selection. Let's not get into some carry stuff here. Let's just slow it down, execute on offensive. Defensively, she said, do not let Heisler penetrate. And she said, we must get on the boards, we must stay on top of them. But her biggest concern was on offense, where they've only scored 7 points in this half.
All right, thanks, Norla. Interesting, the team behind wants to pick up the pace and run the floor. The team ahead likes to slow things down, no question.
Playing with the lead is as tricky as trying to get one, I think.
Well, and it's a good lead, 14 points for the Winnipeg Westmen.
Norma brought up a good point, though. With 10:15 left, they have scored only 7.
Look at the field goal percentage for Regina. 24% from the floor.
Well, just before Schweitzer hit that last one, they were 2 for 20.
During the regular season, the Cougars shot 43% from the floor as a team. Well below their average. Bomb way outside is off the mark from Kesnika, and back come the Cougars. Now Schweitzer just hit a three-pointer. Lee Anderson underneath. It's blocked there by Brooke Bender, who's playing a great game in her final game. She makes her way down to the offensive end. Friesen tries to backdoor it to Heather Thompson, and she finishes. 4 for Thompson. 16 is the deficit.
Is that the nail?
Anderson playing against a slightly taller Heather Thompson and gives up the ball.
Christine Stapleton getting some young kids into the game. Alexis McDonald came in. She's seen little action through this tournament, just in first year.
After they won a year ago, they lost 3 seniors. The Cougars did. Becky Poley, one of them. Corinne Wursta, a great player. Schweitzer pumped up, hits 3. She's got 8. And Heather Dedman was the other senior they lost heading into this year. Winnipeg answers. Heather Thompson.
Heather Thompson making a bit of noise after going a bit silent in the offensive end.
Well, Schweitzer's hit a couple of three-pointers. Dana Friesen with some great hustle, but Bree Burgess finds the handle. Schweitzer drives the lane, couple fakes, draws a foul.
We talked about Schweitzer. She came out really strong in that quarterfinal game, and she does have the ability to turn a game around. And against this match zone that Winnipeg is in right now, I think you really got to look at penetrating. Look for your good shot first or dish.
Tanya McKay now with a major substitution. Angela Woolerton now in the game. Joanne Wells back in the game. Schweitzer with a couple of threes. She now has 9 points. 48-34, the deficit with 8:07 remaining. Winner takes the bronze medal, and this time traveling violation on Dana Friesen. Cougar ball. And I feel, are they getting a little momentum?
I think maybe they are. If they can keep working, they've got some fresh bodies on the floor. Maybe a different look will change things up.
Laura Schmidt now. Bouchard, who struggled from the floor. And Phoebe DeSimone gets a foul away from the ball on Joanne Wells. That's her 3rd. Joanne Wells kind of limping as she gets up.
Well, she's really suffering. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I was
suffering for a minute, but recovered quickly.
Yeah, suffering for a minute.
Well, now she'll have a break to go over and relax. She has been hot. Not even a little thigh bruise is going to hurt Joanne Wells. Heather Thompson is getting in on the action. We'll be right back with more women's basketball when we return.
Hey guys, how would you like to turn up the heat and please your partner in delicious new ways?
And girls, how would you like to drive your man to incredible new heights of pleasure?
Now you can.
It's all here. in the critically acclaimed video what men and women really want.
This tastefully explicit 90-minute video leaves no stone unturned, no zone untouched, especially those of your lover. Men, awaken all her senses, her fantasies, her innermost desires.
Women learn the best-kept secrets, how to please him and leave him longing for more. Chosen Best Video by Men's Health magazine, what men and women really want reveals.
How to take each other to erotic new heights undreamed of before.
Due to its mature content, we're unable to show you more.
But after watching this video together, your intimate encounters will never be the same again. We guarantee it.
This is the ultimate lover's video guide for couples and singles of all ages.
What men and women really want is not available in stores. So, for the pleasure that awaits you, call this toll-free number now.
To order, call 1-888-999-1837. Privacy and discretion assured. Or send $29.95 plus $4.95 shipping to Best Video, Box 5800, Thornhill, Ontario, L3T 4S5.
This is WTSN.
Marie, you talked about Heather Thompson and her importance in this game. 8 points so far.
She hasn't scored a lot. You might not think 8 points is a lot, but she's been in the lane. She's got a piece of everything. She's been on the boards. And that's what you want from your All-Canadian. She's hurting. She's got shin splints, but she's playing through it.
And I can tell you from experience, and I'm sure you've had this along the way somewhere, shin splints are one of the most painful injuries that you can deal with.
I have been fortunate to not experience it.
Okay.
I don't think I would want to.
I have, and every time you step, you want to cry. Rosalind Fast. Joanne Wells might as well just shoot. She has had the hot hand. And she does.
Coach Suter.
And then it's off the front of the rim. That's why I'm not the coach. Schweitzer struggles for it and hangs on to possession. Back to Schweitzer. Norma was listening in on that last break with the University of Regina. Norma, what'd they say?
Well, it was a very upbeat timeout. Coach Christine Stapleton very happy with her charges. You can tell they feel a bit of a lift right now, and she announced to her team that they're going to hit some threes. She said, we're going to hit some threes, okay? We're just going to go out there and we're going to do that. But you need to follow through and you need to use your legs. Obviously reminding them they might be a little bit tired now, so they got to put a little more into their shot.
Thanks, Norma. Phoebe DeSimone driving the lane is fouled. Third personal foul for Heather Thompson. 7th team foul. Next foul, and the Cougars are in the bonus.
After that bucket, I think Thompson got a hearty elbow lodged in her shoulder. Phoebe DeSimone, when she drives, her steps are quite long and she can get a lot of air.
Full court pressure now. 12 points is the difference between Winnipeg, and a turnover from Bouchard. Gets it down low to Phoebe DeSimone. She tries to hang on. She's in the key. She's got to get out of there. Laura Schmidt. Now Bouchard. Big turnover in the full court pressure from the Cougars. Schweitzer. She drives, tries to get inside, but too many Winnipeg Westmen there. And turnover goes the other way.
That was a major collapse. There were 3 black shirts waiting right in the center of the paint.
They're chipping away. The Cougars now just 12 back with a bit of momentum. Tanya McKay looking to make some substitutions, get some starters back in as Joanne Wells drives hard to the basket and is fouled. Simone Bouchard goes down. Fourth personal foul for Simone Bouchard.
You got to stick with what's working, Glenn.
She will have to sit down. Burgess comes back in for Bouchard, who picks up her 4th foul.
That's dangerous.
Joanne
Still
Wells.
6:30 to go. They need Bouchard. It'd be best to have Bouchard and Burgess on the floor at the same time, obviously.
Important free throw for Joanne Wells.
Those are key.
Cougars had momentum and straight back to within 12. That makes it 14. With Schweitzer, and there's Burgess. Laura Schmidt, Schweitzer again.
We're looking at pretty much an even half, right?
And Stapleton said they wanted to set up some three-pointers, but you mentioned yesterday in the semis when I talked about that with the team coming from behind, that sometimes driving the lane and drawing the foul is just as effective.
Well, if it's working for you, but in this case, I think Regina's struggling on both accounts.
So they might as well just launch up some threes, and here's one from Laura Schmidt. That's off the mark.
If you're going to launch them, certainly you have to get everybody rushing the offensive board. Generally, if you're going to take a shot from that far out, it's usually a long rebound, so everybody else has to crash course, and Christine talked about that earlier in the game.
Regina 3 of 14 from beyond the arc in this game. 5:49 left. Kaznika with 6 on the shot clock to Heather Thompson, and she walks. 14 points. The Cougars were within 12. They have 5:38. Key possession here. All possessions key now for University of Regina as Heisler works it from the top of the key. Now swings it outside. Schweitzer to DeSimone. Back door.
What a
she
great offensive set. DeSimone set the first back screen and then set a second screen.
Oh, Heiser tried to steal on Heather Thompson and gets a foul, and she can't believe it.
They're playing with some serious passion now. That was a beautiful offensive set. DeSimone did exactly what she needed to do. She set the screen, had a really nice roll, and just kept going to the basket. When you've got arms as long as she does, the lob is going to work.
Winnipeg now struggling with this full court pressure, trapping pressure from the Cougars. Heather Thompson takes it up, finds Schwartz, and that's how you break it.
The risk of full court pressure, Glenn.
Yeah. Leave a couple of open players down the other end.
Yeah, it can do good things for you, or you can suffer that.
Bouchard with a nice move, but can't finish. Joanne Wells takes the rebound for Winnipeg, who will want to slow things down now. 52-38, 4:48 remaining.
I think actually Winnipeg is a difficult team to press. They like pressure. They like to run.
It has been all Winnipeg in this game as that shot from Brooke Bender well short.
Sometimes it just takes somebody dribbling right through the middle. You got to stay out of the sides. That's where the trap is just waiting for you. Heather Thompson knows that quite clearly.
Kaznika to Schwartz, hands it off to her. Back to Kaznika, set things up. 18 on the shot clock, and Joanne Wells, who now has 19 points in the game and 8 rebounds, 2 rebounds away from a double-double. Joanne Wells hustling for that basketball. Brooke Bender comes up with it. This is Wells with 3 on the shot clock from long distance, and that's off the front of the rim.
Look at Heather Thompson working on the offensive board. Unbelievable.
They really have out-hustled the Cougars from start to finish in this one. Kaznika. Thompson working on Phoebe DeSimone, hands it back to Kaznika, and Heisler trying to find a way to provide the defense. She gets backed up. Kaznika drives, no foul called. Heisler comes away with the board. Heisler drives lane, nice pass. Lee Anderson finishes. 12 points. Can they get it to 10? Full court pressure.
Even half the whole way through.
Schwartz trying to dribble it out. Joanne Wells now. They just get it past half court in time. 15 though on the shot clock. Tanya McKay wants a timeout as Heather Thompson hits the jumper in the paint. It's back to 14. Heather Thompson has 8. We have 3 minutes left. 52-40 is the score.
Contentment reigns. thanks to the consistent warmth of natural gas heating. Efficient, reliable, affordable. For heating, hot water, and cooking, you're always comfortable with natural gas.
The greatest female soccer players in the world have found a new home. WTSN is the exclusive Canadian broadcaster of WUSA, the premier women's professional soccer league. Beginning in April, WTSN will broadcast live 25 of the best matches from the 2002 season, including the semifinal and championship game. There's only one place to catch soccer this good, WTSN.
It has been all Winnipeg in this bronze medal matchup. The bronze baby game, the final, goes tomorrow. Number 1 ranked SFU against number 2 ranked Laval, Rouge et R. And it's been all Winnipeg because of Joanne Wells. Heather Thompson has kicked in, and Tanya McKay had quite the game plan, didn't she?
She did. I think she knew that her athletes were ready to come out. I think they know Regina really well.
Reese Burgess for 3, and the deficit is 11. At the break, Marie, you mentioned that the Cougars are actually winning the second half.
Now by 6.
54-43 now. They've got it down to 11. Key possession for Winnipeg. Joanne Wells with 7 on the shot clock. Over to Schwartz. They're going to have to put up a long one. Heiser providing the defense. And they'll get the turnover. Lee Anderson comes up with it. Good team defense from the Cougars, who get the stop they needed.
Winnipeg getting themselves into all kinds of trouble on the offensive end. Getting a 30-second stop like that for Regina is key. After Burgess just hit a 3-point shot, this is a very, very important offensive set for them.
A bucket here, and the Cougars are in single digits. This is...
They were in the ditch earlier, but they
now they've got the rebound. Bouchard has a clean-looking 3, and she waited too long. Yeah, they were in the ditch now.
But they aren't now. They're on an 18-10 run.
They're out of the ditch.
Over the last
and they're close to single digits. Down by 11. Minute 49 left. Tanya McKay trying to rally the troops and trying to hang on. Did they wait too long, the Cougars?
Collect the ball. Right now? Can we do one? Above the 3.9. What's the 3 wide? Use the clock.
About maybe breaking that full court pressure.
Yeah, Regina's definitely got to come out really strong. 149 is not a lot of time left, but certainly when you're the team with the lead, you got to play with calm, level-headed, don't lose it, keep everything in check, take care of the ball first and foremost.
Well, their biggest lead of the game was 20. Winnipeg. That was back with around 18 minutes left. Now with a minute 40, it's down to 11.
we're going to see some fouls early in this to try to get the ball back.
Wells to Kasnika, and another foul. Bree Burgess wrapping up what has been a tremendous college career for Burgess, the University of Regina.
She's willing to really put it all on the line and do everything she can to try to turn this around. In the last minute 39, she's going out an All-Canadian. She's going out leading Regina in scoring and rebounding. She had a trip to the World University Games in '99. She was 11th in the nation in scoring this year.
Well, and when the Cougars have fouled Winnipeg, as we watch Sally Kasnika on the line, Winnipeg have been awesome.
Remember, we're in a two-shot bonus situation, so every floor foul from here on out committed by Regina is going to net Winnipeg 2 shots.
The Westmen have hit 13 of 14 from the line.
You got to hope you're going to pick somebody who has not been on the line tonight.
Schweitzer tries from 3.
Or is a weaker foul shooter.
.124 left. Very important free throws now for Bree Burgess. Tries to get it down to 11 again. The lead 13 as Brooke Bender, the senior, gets back in the game so she can be on the court for the last minute and 24 seconds of her career in college basketball. Brooke Bender has put together a great bronze medal game here against the defending champion Cougars. Blocks out well. Basket was made, so Joanne Wells and Kasnika try and figure out the pressure. Jump ball, possession arrow was in Winnipeg's favor, so they get it back. But Cougars hustling hard to try and create a turnover here. Down by 11. Lee Anderson now. That's a foul there on Pam Noel. And you talked about putting someone on the line. She has not been on the line in this game.
Well, that's the people you have to choose near the end, the dying seconds, when you're trying to get the ball back and hope for a miss. We were talking about Bender earlier in her last game. She's had 9 points and 5 rebounds today. I think that's outstanding, a little more than her average, just somewhere in the vicinity of 6 a game, I believe.
6.6.
In the neighborhood.
You were right there.
She's done a tremendous job. There was a lot of pressure on bigger Winnipeg players today to make sure they took care of things in the paint. And this is quite an accomplishment for the Winnipeg team. You know, they're taking out the defending champions. They upset, well, it's not an upset, but they did take Memorial in the first round, who were ranked 4th.
And had to work at it.
They really did. That was a close game. And of course, Winnipeg got here by a 3-game series with Alberta, which was to determine the 3rd place team in Canada West, because Canada West, being the conference of last year's champion team, got an extra berth, and Winnipeg is here based on that.
Phoebe DeSimone with her 4th foul. Just continue to foul Winnipeg now to try as many possessions as they can.
And into the game comes perhaps the future of the point guard position at Winnipeg, Charmaine Izzard, who is a talented young player. First year, doesn't see a lot of action, but was one of unidentified athletes at the Nike All-Canada High School camp in the fall. Or last fall, rather.
Art student, 5'9".
Nice for her to get into the game here in the dying seconds.
Bronze medal game, no question. All the experience counts.
Even if it is for a minute, you know, you get on the floor wearing that uniform, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, no question. You get that something to build on for the next year. And the Cougars now having trouble just getting a foul called, as Bree Burgess finally gets the job done, and she'll put the senior Brooke Bender on the line. No, I mean, when you look at Winnipeg in the future, it just looks tremendous. And that game against Memorial may be a character builder in the tournament for them, because the score was 75-67, but the lead went back and forth a bunch in the quarterfinal.
It did.
And they really came on hard. And then I thought, you know, from a guy who played a little high school basketball, that they really played well against Simon Fraser. A gutsy performance.
They did.
Against a very powerful team.
In that Memorial game, they had to contend with the nation's leading scorer in Janine Brown. Not an easy task. And of course, SFU, the formidable team in the tournament this year.
Winnipeg will take the bronze medal. And you got to congratulate Brooke Bender. Her last game, she'll go out with a medal. Joanne Wells, what a game for her.
I think that's the story of the game. Wells coming off the bench. Young player, all kinds of potential, just really took it at that Regina defense.
Joanne Wells, sister of Janet Wells, and she will have bragging rights for the entire offseason at home. Because she had some game.
She did.
12 starts during the regular season, played about 25 minutes in the quarterfinal, had 9 points, came on in the semi, and what a game here for the bronze medal. Look at that board, just to finish things off for Joanne Wells.
I can't tell you what kind of confidence that is going to give that young player going into next year. I think he should remember that name for future years in CIS basketball.
And at the other end, Regina Cougars battled hard, but they waited too long. The Winnipeg Westmen have taken the bronze medal in CIS women's basketball. A tremendous rivalry between these two Canada West teams. 4 times they played during the year. In the regular season, the Cougars beat Winnipeg 3 out of 4 times. But the third game went to overtime, and they lost the last game. And now, in this bronze medal match, it was all Winnipeg till late in that second half.
I think Regina came under some hard times offensively and just got a step behind, and Winnipeg came out on top right from the get-go and capitalized on that.
Joanne Wells was without a doubt the most valuable player in this one as the Winnipeg Westmen take the bronze medal. We'll be right back with more basketball in a moment.
Imagine creating more usable freezer space than ever before.